This podcast contains strong language and adult situations and may not be suitable for those who are easily offended. Welcome, fuckers. I'm Kay.
And I'm Jay.
And you're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast, where the work stories are real, the laughs are large, and most of us can agree, work sucks. So let's clock out and tune in. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. I'm Kay.
I'm Jay. Welcome back, fuckers.
And we have a special episode today.
We do.
Why is it special?
Because my favorite ladies are on with us. Sugar-coated murder.
Sugar-coated murder. We've got Ann and Karen.
Ann and Karen.
Hi.
Hey, y'all. Hello. He likes to butter us up, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's such a smooth talker.
Likes to butter our biscuits.
Oh, Lord. Well, don't take it there.
Already there. We're already there.
Wow, it didn't even take 30 seconds.
Why wait?
Why wait?
You gotta just dive right into that.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They want me buttering their biscuits.
Well, Ann does. I didn't say nothing about buttering nobody's biscuits.
Please. You told me he was buttering your biscuit earlier. Whatevs.
I'm a married lady. I'm married.
All right.
Got to be careful there.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lady.
I am a lady.
Oh my God, I almost
I
took
may
my
not
drink
have my
right
clothes
out.
on today, but I am a lady.
No.
Oh, dear.
No. Maybe a no.
Jeez. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
So we did have a conversation with our mama today, and she said, girls, I did not raise you to be that way.
And I said, no, you didn't, but we turned out that way anyway.
I think
No
she
fault
just
of
says
your
it.
own, Mama.
I think she likes to
I think
say
she
things
just
like
says it
that.
now just to make sure it's said.
Yeah, just say it out
Just
loud.
in case we've done something.
Just so she's not responsible for any kind of bail money.
Exactly. No, we learned long ago, AAA will cover your bail.
That's right. I got it for my daughter when she went to college. I
Mhm.
said, don't call me, call
Call
AAA.
AAA.
That's right.
Perfect.
By college, you mean jail.
It was a toss-up. It just depended on what day of the week that was. It's all right. She got a degree.
When
I
you're in
just don't know
college,
from
if
where.
you go to jail, you call AAA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
They will post up to $10,000.
That is
Holy
insane.
crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to cover murder, but it's probably going to
No.
cover a DUI
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
or
true.
some kind of vandalism,
Something
Mhm.
like peeing in public.
like being in public.
Public
Public
indecency.
drunkenness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You guys always teach us stuff.
We're
Yeah.
here for the learning.
I can't believe I got rid of AAA.
I know, right? We got to get it back just in case.
Just in case.
You
Yeah.
never know what could happen.
I even have it for my son, and he's blind and can't drive. They didn't ask me any questions. You just said no. I don't know if he's going to need bail money.
It's true. He's
Yeah.
real smart.
It's an investment.
He's blind and can't drive. Really?
It's fine, but he could go to jail.
Yes, he could.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're covered. Covered.
That's good.
So we asked you guys on today because we wanted to talk about workplace murder.
What?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
People get killed at work?
Yeah. I mean,
That's so
Here's
bad.
the thing. And people get murdered at work.
Can you think of anything worse? I had to
No,
go
I'd
to
be
work
so
today
pissed
and
off
I
if
got
somebody
murdered.
murdered me at
Damn
work.
it.
Pissed right off.
what if your spirit is stuck in your workplace
Oh,
forever?
yeah.
God,
Don't
that
you talk
is
that mess.
Because ain't nobody saging at work.
No,
No.
nobody's saying
They're not gonna clear you out the building.
Clearing,
Uh-uh.
No.
Oh, geez, I'm going to be stuck at work.
You're
Oh, well,
stuck
thank
with-
God I work at home now. So if I get murdered at work, my husband did it.
Yeah. I got you, girl.
Yeah,
You always got to look at the husband first anyway. So
I agree.
there you go.
That's what I tell him all the time. Watch what you do. They look at you first.
That's right. So before we get into the uplifting
Part of the
topic of
podcast, yes.
murder at work, you guys, you already said what you're drinking, but you want to officially tell everyone what you guys are drinking.
So we're drinking Bailey's, which is an Irish cream, they've come out with a seasonal limited edition Bailey's called S'mores, and that is what we're having in our coffee.
So we're having that with the floater of coffee on top.
Yes,
It's real good.
our cups are the coffee is white.
It is. And I'm drinking out of my sugar-coated murder glass right
Look
here.
at that. Yes,
It
you
says
are.
just a couple of broads. And on the back it says, talking about murder.
That's what we're
Love
going to do. We're going to talk about murder.
We just got
So, what are y'all drinking? What are
Yeah,
y'all,
what are y'all
y'all
having?
fancy over there?
Yeah, Jay made us
Well,
a cocktail.
Yes, I
today.
made a limited edition cocktail for this special occasion, and I call it the sugar-coated murder mule.
Oh,
is very
love
exciting.
a murder mule.
It is basically a Moscow Mule, which is vodka, ginger beer, and lime. But I did vodka, ginger beer, and cranberry juice.
That's the murder
Nice.
part.
Is that because we're a tart? We're a tart. We're a couple of tarts. So we put some tart cranberry juice in there. That's where the
red. I think
sugar-coated
because
murder
it's
part
red.
comes.
I think it's more because it just makes it red.
Okay.
Reddish.
Mine was better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So, what kind of ginger beer do you use?
Yeah, what kind of ginger beer?
Cock and bull.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's a real thing?
Yeah. It's called.
I thought you
it's
guys
called
being cheeky.
I was just
Cock
about to
and
Google
bull.
it, but I don't think I'm going to do
All
that.
right.
I don't think I'm going to Google.
You have to put ginger beer after
Yes.
that, or you could get
Cock and
some
bull ginger beer.
questionable things.
We're going to get mountain oysters. If you put anything else on there.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, we don't want them. We don't want them. We don't let them in our kitchen. Well, Kay, what are you drinking?
I got the same thing. I got the
Yeah,
murder
she's drinking
mule.
the same thing.
You're doing the murder mule.
I'm
Well,
doing
good for
the
you.
murder mule. Yeah,
He's
my-
just guzzling his.
my glass just
Yeah.
isn't as fancy as his. I just got a
Okay.
regular old pint glass.
I didn't know she wanted one. And then when I made mine in the Stein, she was like, "Can I have one?" And I was like, "I guess."
Listen to that poetry. When I made mine in the Stein.
Mine in the
You're a
Stein.
poet.
I knew we were behind.
We might want to stop right there.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We run
sir.
a tight ship here.
Oh,
Oh,
I know.
Lordy.
Totally.
Mhm.
I forgot what's next, but
What is next? I don't know.
We follow your lead.
do we have
I mean-
weekly distractions?
Oh,
I don't know. Do you guys have anything that's been
yes.
distracting you? What is your distraction?
It's actually a really fun thing. We're writing a book.
We're writing a book, y'all.
Really?
That's amazing.
Yes, and we have been way distracted with it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we spent a lot of time writing in between working full time and podcasting, and
Mhm.
we're writing a book too.
Yeah, we get together a couple times a week for 4 or 5 hours,
Mhm.
and
right.
we tap it out. We're
Yeah.
tapping it out.
What do you,
So
what
that's-
is the book about?
Murder.
Murder.
Oh,
What?
It actually goes. It's a deep dive into one of the murders that we covered on our podcast.
Mhm.
Very
Ah.
cool. And you guys are getting close, right?
Mhm.
Very close. We're
Nice.
excited. Yes. Yeah.
That's
we're
really
getting there.
cool.
Just trying to make our mama proud.
You're
Yeah.
trying to leave something as a legacy for Mama to say, God, they finally did something.
Something.
I don't know if it's going to work.
I don't. When she sees some of the stories we've written about, she may be like,
She's
"Oh
like,
my
"No."
lord!"
She's going to say, my Lanta, where are my pearls? I'm going to have to clutch them.
So are you gonna like fish around for publishers? Are you gonna self-publish? Do you know?
We're planning to self-publish.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
we're gonna
cool.
Self-publish, and I mean, we're not writers any more than we're bakers. Like we're not even really podcasters.
We're not people. I don't
We're barely
Aw.
human.
know who we are anymore.
But we felt like we had something to say, so we wrote it down.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
We'll
Good.
see how it goes.
I can't wait
But
to
that's
read
been
it.
a huge
Listen,
distraction.
when you got a murderer sending you email saying, "Hey, girls, can I talk to y'all a minute?" You pick up the phone and you call.
and then you take some notes.
you take some notes.
Ooh. Did he just call you randomly? I think I've heard this story, but I can't
Yeah,
remember
he
the
He sent us
details.
an email. He
He
sent us
emailed
an
us.
email.
and said, "I heard the episode where you covered my murder case."
Oh, wow.
And so we were like, ruh-roh. And he said, I really like the way that you covered it. I think you were very fair and objective, and I really appreciate it. And I'd like to talk to y'all on
Wow.
the phone.
So it turned into a whole
It was a
covert
whole thing.
operation. Like
Yeah.
We bought a burner phone.
We bought a
We hid in
burner
the
phone.
parking lot so we weren't close to our. We don't even know how burner phones work.
Oh, it took us a minute.
We kept the battery in one car and the phone in another car.
We were so scared that at midnight they'd come back together and he'd find us. So,
Is he ever going to get out of jail?
he's
Oh,
out.
he's out.
Oh,
We've been to see him.
We've had a one-on-one interview.
Mhm.
Really?
We had a sit down, a 5-hour sit down.
wow.
And then we walked out and we were so stressed out at what we had just done. We ate a box of cupcakes.
We ate a dozen cupcakes.
Six. There were six.
Six.
Not
Sorry, a
dozen.
half dozen.
Half
Sorry.
dozen. We had
But we were
3
just
each.
shoving them in our mouth and looking at each other going,
What did
holy
we
shit,
just
what did we just do?
We didn't tell anybody where we were, where we were going.
And
nothing.
we had gone to a different state.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Was it in a public place at least?
Mm-mm. It was in his office in a building where there was
on a
nobody else
Saturday
there.
afternoon. There was
What
nobody
were
there.
we thinking?
And he locked the door when we went in.
Oh, and he did lock the door.
Yeah.
We did have our crystals with us in our purse.
We had our crystals in our purse.
As
Well, that's good.
protection.
We were very protected.
Uh-huh. I mean, it worked,
Yeah.
right?
We went in with a plan. We went in with a whole plan
Yeah.
of, okay, we're going to be in charge of this. We're going to take charge of the whole conversation. We're going to tell them what we're going to talk about. Once an hour, we're going to break. We're going to get up, walk around, go to the bathroom, make sure we're plenty hydrated. We're going to break for lunch. We're going to go separate ways for lunch and come back to. We had the whole plan.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of it.
We walked in.
sat down
5
and we were
hours
like,
later, we
"What?"
walked out. We had not peed or had a drink of water.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
And he had
Sat
talked
there
the whole time.
with our mouths open, like, "Oh my God, what are we doing?"
Wow.
Okay,
I
when
really
we
wish
get in
we told
there,
somebody.
when we get in there, do not let him lock the door. We're going to get up every hour for a
Yeah.
bathroom break.
Yes.
Buddy system.
Yes, we'll
Buddy
do the
system.
buddy system.
And we were supposed to text our families once an hour to let them know we were okay. Oops.
I mean, were they
Nothing.
texting you like, "Are you alive?"
And we weren't answering, and they were freaking out because they didn't know where we were.
Wow.
Jesus.
It was a whole thing.
It was crazy.
Is all this going to be in the book?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I can't
Yes.
wait to read it.
has to be.
Wow.
it has to be. Otherwise, nobody would believe we got the story.
I know.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking?
No.
Y'all are making stuff up.
I know. Well,
But no,
Yeah.
we are not making it up.
and he got in touch with us exactly 1 month after ID Discovery
Yeah,
had
that's
gotten
right.
in touch with us to cover the same murder on their show.
That's so cool.
And then that fell through. And we were like, that's it. We're ending our lives. And then we actually get
We're ending our lives.
That's it. We're done. We're ending our lives. We're not living through this anymore. And then he got in touch with us and we were like, what is happening? Where is our life right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, we're just a couple of broads.
Just a couple of broads. We're nobodies.
We're nobodies. So,
Don't say that.
well, we're not. We're just not. I don't know what to say, Kay.
Everybody's somebody.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and applesauce.
Kumbaya,
Yes.
Lord.
Oh, are we doing kumbaya again? Because I only know that one line.
I'm telling you, that's it.
Oh.
You just repeat it over and over again. And at the end, you say,
Come by Jesus. Here,
Something-
Jesus.
no.
Come on over.
Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. And that's how you end it. It's over.
So the
All
same
right,
thing.
that's it.
Over and over.
Well,
And you do it in a different tone at the end, so you know it's final. That's it. I'm
Go
not
up
singing
a
the
little.
Kumbayas anymore.
and somebody
I've
got
had a
paid to
lot
write
to
that
drink.
song.
The words escape me.
Yeah, talk about distractions. We just completely distracted the entire podcast.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's
No, it's
What
fine.
were we
perfect.
talking about?
What were we talking about?
Distractions. That'd be us.
Meet your distractions.
Our distraction this week is Karen and Ann.
That's right.
Do we have a distraction? Do you have a distraction?
I have a pork shoulder on the smoker right now that's going to be pulled pork in a couple hours.
Oh, nice.
That would be a distraction for me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to be
Yeah. I'm real impressed with that.
I have been watching the Scream MTV TV series.
Have you?
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm listening to, you guys know Dustin from Dustin Can Read and watch podcasts, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Dustin started the rewatch recap.
Yes.
And so I've been watching along with the podcast, and I'd never
that's
watched
smart.
it before. And it's so bad, but it's very entertaining. So I've been enjoying that. That's been my distraction.
Wow.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk about some murders and stuff?
Yeah.
I was going to go through, like, I found a list of like the most common workplace violent incidences.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
It's going to be an uplifting
Yes.
episode.
Very uplifting.
Do you want to lock the door before
Yeah,
we go through this? I'm going to need your cell phones.
Okay, so this comes. Puppy.
Oh, God.
This comes
That's
from
fine.
Pinnacle Assurance. I don't know exactly what the hell that is. I think it's like maybe like a workplace training type of thing, but talking about workplace violence. So approximately 2 million Americans are victims of workplace violence every year.
That's sick.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
It's insane. So the number one is strangers committing workplace violence. So mostly like robberies, but also mass shootings, because that's popular in America now.
Mm.
Second is either customers or clients. That's takes up about 40% of workplace
Wow.
violence
Wow.
incidences. Yeah. So either current or former clients, patients, because it happens a lot in healthcare situations.
Oh, yeah.
Customers,
Right.
passengers. So like taxi drivers are one of the most, it's like the biggest job that gets murdered. I don't know how to put that. Like
No, that's right. The biggest
No.
job that gets murdered.
the biggest job
That's
that
it.
gets murdered.
When I lived in Vegas, I was on the strip when a guy poured gasoline on a taxi driver and lit him on fire
No, that is
Yeah.
so terrifying.
How do you
from the back
sleep?
seat.
Oh
like
my
had a
God.
little.
No.
I don't know if he had a spray bottle or what, but he basically sprayed the taxi driver
Why would he
with
do that? That is so rude.
gasoline. It was racially motivated.
Oh,
Jesus.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, my
and
God.
lit
Well, we're
him
never
on
going to
fire.
Vegas.
And I remember
Oh.
I was on the strip because I used to, when I did pest control, I would service like the seedy hotels, like
Mm.
hourly
Okay.
rental hotels.
Oh,
We'll
God.
just say that.
Well, I'm
that
glad
were
somebody was
that
spraying
were
for bugs.
the north end of the strip, and that's where it happened. And it was nuts. It was nuts.
That
I
is
didn't
nuts.
know what was going on.
That
I just
is
saw like
terrifying.
the helicopters and the cops and everything, and then got home that night and saw that that's what happened. Like
Oh,
taxi
God.
driver got doused in gasoline and lit on fire.
Did
That's
he
awful. Did he survive
No,
it?
he did not.
Oh.
His car didn't
Oh.
survive. Like the whole car went up.
Oh, gosh.
That is
Well, we don't like whoever that was. That
No.
person that did that
Yeah.
is a real
so
douchebag.
mean.
that is a horrible
No, his
way
name
to
was
go.
Jerry. I mean, he was cool. He was cool. I met him. He was cool. He was all right. You know,
He's
He's
He
not
just had a
great
bad
Hank.
day.
Don't say bad things about Hank. He was a good guy.
Ugh,
Yeah, that's
gross.
awful.
That is awful. I wonder why. I wonder what it is about taxi drivers.
They're vulnerable, just
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. They,
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
also, I think
They
like
just pick up such a random
there's
amount
a-
of people. The
Yeah.
likelihood they come across someone mentally unstable is probably
Yeah.
high.
well, the guy that did that, I really hope that when he meets his maker, he gets put on a slow roast down below,
Yeah.
like for eternity.
Yeah.
you want to keep going, Kay?
Sure. Where was I? Okay, so next is coworker violence. So either Kermer.
Oh, I don't know him. I have never met Kermer.
He's all right.
He's all right. I mean, he
He's a
never
little
lit.
weird.
He never
a
lit
little
nobody
weird,
on
but-
fire.
He's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he never lit nobody on fire. He's all right.
Current and former employees.
Actually, I think we could just shorten that to Kermer,
I
Kermer.
think so too. We
and
now
people
have
know it's current and former. Kermer.
Yes.
Hello, Webster. We got a word for you.
So that makes up 26% of workplace violence. So it's either conflict between coworkers or, like getting fired, that kind of stuff. causes violence. And then the fourth one is domestic violence offenders at the workplace. So spouses and partners of employees actually coming to the workplace.
Oh, I thought you meant like they worked together and then they didn't get along.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of this too.
I would think that would be a pretty,
because there's a lot of spouses that they
do work together.
Yeah. So that's 6%.
Wow.
And that's it. So that's it. But where did it say? I forgot where I read. Like, there's all like these high. What did I say? 2 million in the beginning, and it's still like a bunch of executives are just like, no, we don't see this as a problem. Yeah. Okay. Because that would cost like training and protocols to be put in place. And
yes.
That costs
we don't
money.
Want that. Yeah, that's our bottom line.
So, kind of going off the fuck my work life theme.
That's a total fuck my work life to get killed at work.
Oh, yeah, to get murdered at work?
That's not okay.
So on that note, you want to share your story?
Sure. So this story was brought to my attention because it took place at a Molson Coors plant in 2020.
Oh, Lordy.
In Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
So this is about Anthony Farrell and his coworkers. And he was an electrician who worked at the Molson Coors plant. He worked there for 20 years, but was an electrician for 17 years. And during that time, there were conflicting stories about things he went through and also things he did. A lot of people said that he dealt with like workplace racism, like harassment. He was an African American man. He was 51 years old, and in 2020, he left work. I think he was fired. I'm pretty sure he was fired. And he came back and killed 5 coworkers that he worked with that were in his department. And, there was a lot of stories on it because it was a mass shooting. Mm-hmm. And they talked to his neighbors and they talked to other coworkers that worked with him. And a lot of people said that he was like, they could never see him doing this, but they also know that he had a lot of gripes with the people he was working with and the racism he was having to deal with.
Wow.
There was one coworker who said that they had a meeting, and during the meeting, someone went into the bathroom in the department he worked in and hung a noose in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with people?
Yeah. I have a problem with management letting this go on.
Yeah.
And there was the same coworker said that they had heard the N-word being dropped constantly and nothing was ever done about it.
What year was this?
2020.
Come on, people, get it together.
He worked there for almost 20 years, right? So
he worked there for almost 20 years. So we don't know if still, this stuff happened in 2020.
It could have started in 2000. It still doesn't go back to the 1800s.
No. And the fact that nobody did anything about it, right?
And that's what sickens me, because even if you're not management, if you're a coworker, if you're a human, step in and do something.
Right.
Well,
definitely.
He had gone to management, but management he worked for the union, the electricians union, but he never went to the union. So there were no lawsuits on file. There were no complaints on file because he went to management at Molson Coors.
Oh.
And it was basically swept under the rug.
Oh.
Now, there were also conflicting stories that workers in his department had a problem with him because they said he would just sit and watch movies on his phone all day and wouldn't do anything. But
still doesn't warrant those actions.
You don't put a noose in the bathroom or use the N-word because of that. That's I mean, you take it too far.
It doesn't make anything,
Nothing justifies that.
No. And really, like, that's another conflict because nothing really justifies going in and killing 5 people.
I agree.
That's true.
I completely agree. None of this justifies what he did either.
But I do understand that
he was pushed to his limit.
People have a breaking point.
Yeah,
right.
They do,
Yeah.
and it's our responsibility to recognize that in our fellow humans.
Yeah,
and when you're pushed beyond that breaking point, then it's like a mental instability that can take over, and you don't know what you're doing. You're just reacting.
You don't make rational decisions at all.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, well, that's just awful. All around, it's tragic. And I might not ever drink Molson or Coors ever again.
Right.
So this was brought to my attention because it was a Molson Coors plant, and people were saying like, "Oh, you love Coors." Molson Coors is the name. It used to be Miller Coors. Has nothing to do with Coors.
but they are the parent. They are the parent. They own Coors now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't want Miller beer or Molson.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going with Budweiser.
Well, I don't drink beer, so none of this really matters.
I don't drink no damn butt wipes. That's disgusting.
Butt wipes. I don't drink beer, so it don't matter. But
no, but back to the story. I think the hardest part about this story is that not only did he kill 5 of his coworkers, he also took his own life. And so the questions, you talk to everyone around him, his neighbors, and they were like, we could never see him doing this. Yeah. You know, he would work on his cars. He would walk his dog. He was very nice to everyone. And you talk to the people who were killed, you talk to the people who knew them, and they would have the same accolades about those people.
Right. That there's no way he was racist or
and because he took his own life, that's where it stopped. There is no court case to look into it. There is no questions get answered, you know, and I think that's tough. The hardest part.
And
sure.
Do we know if the people that he killed were they specifically targeted as the ones that were harassing him?
Yes, it was the 5 people he killed worked very closely with him.
I'm not saying that makes it better.
He did not go in and just target random people. He went into his department. Okay. And he killed these people.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's very tragic all around. I mean, it's so sad that it came to that point for him, and that then he, for whatever reason, decided to take that avenue.
A lot of what I read were you know, people like, he should have gone to his union worker, because your dues pay for lawyers, your dues pay for you to be protected, and you can go to your lawyers, to your union, and you can bring these gripes up and they can do something about it, and your name doesn't have to be immediately put out there as this is what's happening.
Sure.
You know, they can seek other avenues to handle this. I forgot where I was. But anyway.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. He didn't go to his union.
He didn't go to his union.
I wonder why.
He could have gone to his union. I
mean, you can't ask him.
You know what? There are people that are introverted that don't feel comfortable doing that stuff.
Well, listen, some unions, there are some unions that aren't as good as other unions, and maybe he didn't.
Maybe he didn't have a good union.
Maybe he felt like they wouldn't be able to help them.
Well, I think a lot of people see unions as protection, but those unions are also run by normal people like you and me, and your bosses. Yeah, and you can pay your dues, but that doesn't mean you're going to be more protected than.
No, not at all.
Right, because all of those people that he worked with were in the same union.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it also makes you wonder if he felt like, I'm not going to be the one represented here.
You got to prove it. How are you going to prove it?
Yeah.
Well, first you take the noose and you send it to them, and you say, okay.
But you can't prove that somebody put it in there.
That's true. That's very true.
So it's a sticky
horrible situation.
Yeah. He probably just felt outnumbered and overwhelmed.
And I don't like to make speculations like that just on a whim. Yeah. But if you look back in the early 1900s when like unions started, they weren't started by the
they weren't really the up and up
characters. Yeah, like they were started by people who
some seedy people.
The mafia.
Yeah,
pretty much.
A lot of it is mafia. Yeah,
and it's like when something has its roots in something crooked like that, you can't expect it to progress through the years and not still be crooked.
Yeah,
there's always going to be that little bit in there that is still crooked.
Yeah. Well, in South Carolina, we're a non-union state.
Oh,
so there ain't no unions allowed in here. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Because
I don't know.
No, there are not.
Well, I'm part of the mail handlers union.
That's because you're federal.
Oh, I'm federal.
Oh.
I don't work for the post office, but I get my insurance through them. And I pay my $45 dues every year.
Yeah.
Which then puts
it's
me
$45
into the
a year?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's the dues for the mail to be in the union. That's not how much I pay for
she also pays for her insurance.
Oh, okay.
That would be very good insurance for $45 a year.
Yeah, hello, 1980s.
It'd either be very good or very shitty.
Yeah.
A real good price for some really crappy insurance.
Yes.
You pay $45 a year for insurance. All we cover is pulling teeth.
That's right.
That's it. They just tie the string around
Yeah,
it,
we
put it
just
on the
send you-
doorknob, and slam the
We send
door.
you to our cousin. And,
Cousin Jerry in the back room.
he ties a string around your tooth and gets on his four-wheeler. And
And by the way, we only change that string out once a year when you pay your dues.
You get a new string every time you pay your dues.
teeth pull go January 1st.
Don't be late.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to listen to a promo from the boys over in the Jojatorium, Matt and Adam.
Matt and Adam, we love
Matt and
them.
Adam,
We do.
We adore them.
Adore.
Welcome back to the Jojatorium.
Whoa, Matt, this isn't an episode. It's a trailer.
Well, what the hell's a trailer, Adam?
It's where we tell people what they can expect from our podcast, Decaying with the Boys.
Well, they can expect to hear us talk shop on pro wrestling, craft beer, horror movies, and pop culture, like Britney Spears' creepy father and stuff like that.
We've literally never talked about Britney, but we do take our shots at everything else you said.
Well, then I guess I can also tell them they can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Anchor FM.
And don't forget to find us on all social media at Decaying WTB.
Cheers.
you want to tell your story, babe?
Cats and zip ties. Sure.
I mean, you don't have to.
I'm kind of just enjoying hearing the tales of the South. This is going to be a great Patreon.
If we move to the South, it would be a culture shock for you.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Bless your heart. I don't know how you're going. I don't know. We're going to have to get her therapized.
Yeah.
Therapized.
We're gonna definitely.
She's going to need to be therapized for that. Yeah, and tranquilized.
Oh, definitely medicated.
and baptized.
It's everything.
Not going anywhere near any ponds if we move to the South.
No.
Fuck that.
Well, sugar, you know that the snakes don't just live in the ponds.
No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying they live everywhere.
I'm trying to talk her into moving down there soon.
Zip it, lady.
You know what? We don't allow snakes in the South. We just don't allow
Okay,
them.
good. All right,
Nope.
then I'll move
It's just
there.
like unions. You get the hell on out of here.
You just keep right on walking past that
We
state.
ship them some bitches up to Northeast.
That's right. We
Just
don't put
get
up
you
with
some
it.
snake away. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some mothballs.
Yeah, you just put
Snakes don't
mothballs
like
down. They don't like
mothballs.
mothballs.
Ugh.
Or really, really prickly rope. Like the really like
Yeah, so just carry a pocket full of mothballs everywhere you go and
they don't
drop
cross
one.
a rope either.
Yeah.
Rope and mothballs.
Mhm.
Or
You'll be
scatter
fine.
gun.
Or what?
Scattergun.
They don't like them scatter guns.
What is a scattergun?
That's a damn shotgun, girl.
Oh,
The
okay.
shotgun,
Shit.
and especially if you put birdshot in it, then it scatters.
Scatters, okay.
Yeah.
I've just never heard it called a scattergun.
Well,
Well,
We're going to have to
from
get you a
his
lingo
neighborhood.
book.
we're going to learn you.
That's right.
And you know what? You can pull a couple of your teeth so you fit in.
May as well get
perfect.
started.
Get the string, honey.
And the four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Whoa. All right, I'll tell this story.
All right, let's tell this story.
Okay. No, I don't wanna. Okay.
Come on.
So I looked up like rampage workplace killings on Wikipedia.
Jeez.
And they have a whole list, but they had some qualifications for what qualified as a workplace one. So basically, it's the attempted killing of multiple persons in a public space by a single person, and without a cooling off period. And so this list includes either a rampage killing of 6 or more people that died, or 4 people that died and at least 10 victims that were injured, or 2 people died and 12 victims that were injured. So that's how they made this list.
That's a highfalutin math stuff right there.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to count all those numbers.
So from 1828 to 2022, there have been 62 workplace rampage killings worldwide, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this is specifically workplaces. So I guess that limits the field a lot. So I'm going to tell you guys about one from England. No, just kidding, Dan. I'm not going to do that to Dan again.
He said nobody can tell any UK stories, murder stories, because he wants all of them to come to tell on our podcast.
Oh, that's so
he has put
funny.
a moratorium on anybody else using any more murder stories from the UK.
No more UK stories allowed.
So funny. He called dibs on all of them.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm going to tell one about the Edgewater Technology shootings in Wakefield, Massachusetts that happened on December 26th in 2000. So this is when Michael McDermott shot and killed 7 of his coworkers.
Wow.
So I had to write this down because my memory is not that good where I can just read something and retell a story. So I'm just going to read it for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So a little bit about Michael. He was born in 1958 and grew up in Mansfield, Massachusetts. His high school peers and friends said he was a pretty normal, popular guy. After high school, he joined the Navy, where he served 6 years as an electrician's mate. Yours was also an electrician, right?
Oh,
Motherfucker's crazy.
Oh, goodness. Oh, there's a theme.
Yeah. So he mostly worked on the submarine, the USS Narwhal.
Oh, that's where he went crazy.
On the
I
submarine.
Yeah.
Submarine.
Stuck in a fucking pill bottle.
Yeah.
Underneath the ocean.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Let's don't say that. Ann and I are getting ready to go on a haunted ghost tour on an aircraft carrier, and part of it is also in a submarine.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
All right.
No.
It's great.
I'm getting a little pushback from her.
A lot of pushback.
His supervisor described him as smart enough, but much slower than others in passing his qualification exams needed to advance in the ranks or avoid delinquency penalties. So because of this, like if they were on shore leave, he had to stay confined to the submarine. He didn't get to go out and leave the submarine.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
no.
Yeah.
Because you have to earn that.
You have to earn that? That's a human right.
Right? Not in the Navy.
What
Really?
the hell? That's a human basic right.
When you sign your name on that dotted line, all of that right stuff.
That's not okay. You
You
got to get
signed it
some
away.
fresh air.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the submarine comes up above the water
You
sometimes.
can stick your head out the
You can-
hole in the top.
You can get fresh air.
That's not okay.
No. I mean, I'm sure that had to contribute to his
Yes.
mental state overall.
For sure.
Absolutely. You're with a bunch of dudes. Like, we're competitive by nature.
Yeah.
So if you're the bottom of the barrel,
You're getting
You're
treated
going to
like
get picked on.
yeah, you're going to get fucked with constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
So he left the Navy after 6 years, where he eventually was honorably discharged. It didn't say the reason behind it. In 1988, he began working in research and development for Duracell, and he got married soon after that, but they divorced several years later, and then he began to gain significant weight, kind of just fell off of the social whatever norms, just kind of became more of a hermit. And in 2000, Duracell announced that they were going to move to Connecticut. And instead of relocating with a company, he gave his resignation. And that same year is when he joined Edgewater Technologies. So financial troubles after his divorce kind of followed him everywhere. He got kicked out of his apartment for not paying rent. And when he left, I guess he left it in a total just derelict state, just trash.
Oh, gosh.
And he owed the IRS about $5,000 in back taxes. So around this time, he started frequenting online bulletin boards. This was like early in the internet. And he would post a lot about chemicals and how explosives work. Though after this happened, all the experts that kind of went through and looked at all the stuff he posted, he didn't come off as violent or politically charged. He was just kind of like talking about stuff he knows, I guess.
How to blow shit up.
Yeah, how to blow shit up.
Yeah. I mean, we all know about that.
I think we've all searched it at one time or another.
My brothers had, what was it, the Anarchist Cookbook growing up, and they would make tennis ball bombs. They'd made napalm in our garage.
No way. Oh my gosh.
I didn't have no goddamn.
Yeah.
All I had was a cat gun.
I had Daddy's black powder rifle, and I just took his can of black powder and I'd make matchbox bombs.
Yeah.
Oh God! All I had was the roll of caps. I used to sit with the hammer on the cement and just hit the caps. That was as explosives as I got. That's all I had
for us.
Before you let you out of the hospital.
This is what I did in the hospital. At the hospital.
Go ahead, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You were in explosives.
Oh yeah. So he's just talking about explosives. So he was mostly viewed as a loner by his neighbors and coworkers, basically leaving no real impression on anyone he came across. So kind of just there, but just there.
That is a sad existence.
Yeah. So on December 26th, Michael entered Edgewater Technology armed with an AK-47, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a 32 caliber pistol.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's crazy that he only killed 7 people.
Yeah.
Like an AK-47, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a 32 is pretty small. It's a pretty small pistol, but
it'll still kill you.
AK-47 and a 12-gauge, like that alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That some bitch should have got at least 15, 20.
Oh, gosh. He must not have been a good shot.
Nope. Nope. He probably closed his eyes when he pulled the trigger.
I know. Like when I used to do the caps, I would close my eyes, and half the time I missed them, and half the time I got them.
I wish we were recording this video.
We can make a video for the blooper reel.
Yeah.
I'm crying. Y'all stop. These real tears. The tears from my childhood. I'm real sad about it now. I just figured out I wasn't that cool. No, I thought I was real crazy.
People thought we were crazy.
And here I thought they were waiting because they thought I was cool.
Crazy girls again. Them hammers. Getting them caps.
And Daddy was always, who took my hammer?
That's why I asked, was this before the hospital or after?
I don't know. It all runs together. I can't tell. Shit. Shit. Son of a bitch. I thought I was cool. No, I was just mental.
You're just gonna need to be therapized a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been therapized all my damn life. I finally got out therapized. Now I got to get back in therapized.
Y'all, this is serious now.
And we're talking about serious stuff.
Serious
Y'all
stuff.
stop it.
Ship.
You can't even say ship.
Continue, babe.
You want to finish the story?
Go ahead. We're good now.
Are you good?
Yeah,
We're good. Don't look at him.
Just don't look.
Look at him.
So he had lots of guns. He ended up firing off a total of 37 rounds.
Oh, wow.
And he shot 7 of his coworkers repeatedly in the back of the heads.
Jesus.
What?
Jesus.
Like, how does that happen?
He sneaks up.
I mean,
I guess with the AK.
he does it on purpose.
No, but I know. But once you get one, I mean, I guess
Don't people turn around?
right.
No.
Well, it depends on the space and where you are.
Yeah.
Anger controls more than just, one shot in the head, they're good. Like,
No, but I know. But 7 of them.
yeah.
So after the
Right.
first one, don't
He
the
had
others
to-
start scattering?
Not if it's an AK-47.
He's just
I mean,
Just-
Yeah.
Spraying.
God. Anyway, it's horrible.
I mean, if okay.
It's bad.
I'm sorry my brain works this way, but if he came in with an AK-47 and he killed 7 people and multiple people were shot multiple times in the back of the head, it could have been spray, everybody's on the ground,
Mhm.
walk up
Oh.
Shotgun,
and
pistol.
finish them off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because they're incapacitated or they're
That's
dead.
That
Yeah.
the anger is
Yeah.
going
That
to
is-
dictate
that is
more
awful.
than just
Ugh.
Yeah. He wanted
You know,
to do maximum
what is
damage.
going to kill
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah. This doesn't sound like he just hit a breaking point and went nuts. This sounds like planned.
Yep.
Like,
Both.
yeah.
Both.
Very premeditated. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound
Oh, yeah.
like it was just an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Like, not a knee-jerk reaction. It was, I'm going to sit down and figure out how to do this and cause maximum damage.
I think a lot of people can emotionally break and still have their wits about them to
Absolutely.
plan this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Like,
the
that's
switch
why
has
they-
gone off that
That's
this
why
is
they
wrong.
send these
Yeah.
people through so many psychiatric evaluations to
Yeah.
see, like, were they of sound mind when they
Yeah.
did
Mhm.
this? Like, they probably weren't when they decided to do it,
Right.
but while they were doing it, absolutely they were of sound mind.
Well-
They just had time to brew and
Yes.
plan and
Yeah.
And there comes a point where you're walking in that door and you are making a choice.
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
You are making a choice.
yes.
So I'll tell you a little bit about stuff that was found on
Okay.
on his computer.
Ugh.
So when the police arrived to the office, they found Michael sitting calmly in a chair, and all he said was that he did not speak German. That's all he said to them.
Was he in Germany?
No,
No.
this is Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
So at trial, he stated that he was born without a soul and that God had allowed him to earn a soul by traveling back in time to kill Nazis. So, however, the prosecution asserted that the killings were motivated by his employer's garnishment of his wages for the IRS in order to pay back taxes. So, as soon as his employer started garnishing his wages, that's when he flipped out. They also found evidence on his computer that he researched how to fake mental illness.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, and that line is not, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't speak German, does not, mental illness, that does not make.
right, exactly.
Yeah, but if you listen to his story of, like, he was sent back in time
Yeah.
to kill Nazis, you
He
can
was
understand.
trying to, like,
yeah, he was.
Fake
he was-
schizophrenia or whatever.
Yeah, he was trying to make a trail of
Yeah.
his mental illness when he actually didn't have it.
I
No.
guess this
I
was
mean,
in-
he did. He definitely.
Well, yeah, he
I
wasn't
think
in his right
anyone
mind.
Who can go?
He was not right in the head.
right.
That's a mental. That's a mental disease.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, I feel like it's a
creating-
mental break.
Yes.
It's not like a mental disease like schizophrenia
Right.
Yes.
or bipolarism, those are mental illness diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy had a mental break.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that him faking having an illness just rubs salt in the wound for the people that really do cope with that stuff every day, and they don't kill people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who do this type of shit, they misconstrue a mental break from a mental disease.
Yeah, I agree.
And they think that it's one and the same. So if they claim mental illness, you know, it somehow makes what they did okay.
Right.
Well,
you can't be culpable for
they don't go to
doing
jail.
that,
they go to a mental institution where they can do
Where-
art projects all day.
Where after a certain number of years, you can petition to be released.
Yeah.
Look at
They do that a lot in Canada.
all right.
I know they
I don't
should
want to
stop.
sell myself
That's
up the
crazy.
river, but I read and
No.
listen to a lot of serial killer podcasts.
Oh.
Edmund Kemper,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Ed Kemper.
like he killed both of his grandparents, went to a mental institution,
Got out.
got
Yeah.
out a couple years later, and then ended up killing these people. And
His
when
mom
he knew he was going to
and-
get
yeah.
caught, he killed his mom, cut her head off, did acts,
Bad things to
with-
it.
Bad things,
That
very
head-
bad things.
and then to cover his story, called her best friend because he knew people were going to be looking for his mom, called her best friend who was a neighbor, had her come over and killed her so he could say, oh, they both went out of town, haven't seen them.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he walked up behind his grandmother and just, I think he put 2 in the back of her head, and then waited for his grandpa to come home from the grocery store and killed him. So his
And he
so
was
his
a
grandpa
teenager when he did that,
wouldn't
right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was like 14 or 15 years old,
Yeah.
maybe 16, but killed his grandpa so his grandpa wouldn't have to see the grandma dead. Like,
Well, that's so
and
considerate.
then he got
Yeah.
out when he was like 22. Oh, your lights are freaking out. again.
Wow.
We got a whole disco.
It's crazy. And you look
Yeah.
you look at this guy, and when he got out of the mental institution and then did all of these things and went into prison, when they caught him and took him to prison, he told them, when I was in the mental institution, I knew everything that happened. I knew why I did it.
Yeah.
And I played the doctors
To let him out.
for them to let me out so I could continue to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he had an IQ that was higher than, who's the frizzy haired guy?
Einstein?
Yes.
You're welcome.
His IQ was either on par or higher than Einstein's IQ, like in the 140s, 150s.
Well, they say
Yeah.
there's a fine line between genius and insanity.
There is.
That is
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
I think he's probably why they say that.
Is he still alive
Yes.
and in jail?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was in California that he did it, and they abolished the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they took his death penalty away and gave him life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's just,
Is he in San
Hanging
Quentin?
out.
I don't know if he's in San Quentin. I think he's somewhere up north, but not San
Not
Quentin.
San
San
Quentin.
Quentin is.
Is that the one that's out? Is that the island? Is
No.
that the
That's
one?
Alcatraz, but
That's
San Quentin
Alcatraz,
is like
but-
on the other
Yeah.
side of the bay. Yeah.
Okay.
Alcatraz is not.
It's not a working prison anymore. It's just like
Okay.
a
It's just a
museum.
tourist attraction.
But San Quentin is just like right on the other side
Yeah.
of the bay from that,
Okay.
basically.
But that's where, like, San Quentin is where, like, they send the gangbangers and shit.
That's where
like
Charles Manson was.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but
The
I think,
the real bads.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was researching how to fake mental illness, but he didn't pull it off because he was found guilty of 7 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Good.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I mean, other than 7 people getting murdered, So 36 hours before his shooting spree, police were actually looking for him for allegedly test firing a shotgun in his street. So neighbors had called because they heard reports, or the neighbors reported that they heard like 5 to 7 shotgun blasts on Christmas Eve, but police couldn't find him. So if they had,
they would
none of this would have happened.
Possibly, we don't know. I mean,
who knows?
He may not have gone to jail for that. They would have just cited him for it.
Delayed him.
But if he was
days.
if he was locked up for a day or two or whatever, maybe he would have. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say the victims' names because they're important. So there was Jennifer Bragg Capobianco, Janice Haggerty, Louise Havel, Rose Manfredi, Paul Marceau, Cheryl Troy, and Craig Wood. And a cherry tree was planted outside of Edgewater Technologies offices in Wakefield in memory of the 7 victims. And every December, carnation flowers are woven into the branches in their memory.
Oh, wow. That's nice that they do that to honor them.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace to his victims because they certainly, I don't feel like these people deserved it. I feel like he was a broken man when he went to this new place. He was already broken.
Yeah.
And nobody broke him. I think he might have broke himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, unlike your story where he was targeting specific people who were harassing him, it sounded like this guy just walked in because the company decided to garnish his wages and just killed random people.
Yeah.
Just horrifying.
Yeah, what are you going to do with your wages now?
Yeah. Now we've got all the training for workplace violence.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys do, but we have active shooter drills on our base where they actually come in with guns that have the tips painted orange, so you know it's pretend, and they walk through like active shooters. So you go through the scenario at your desk. Mm-hmm. You can figure out where you're going to run and hide. If you can't run and hide,
run, hide, fight.
Yeah. So I always we work remote now, but I always kept a really heavy. I think it was like a Waterford Crystal candy bowl on my desk. Because that was going to be my throw. Yeah. My fight.
That was your fight. That's the only fight
I was going to get him with my crystal bowl.
But
those things are heavy.
Yeah. But it was so heavy.
The Navy, we went through those drills at least twice a year, but we had posters everywhere about active shooter, like what to do for an active shooter.
I mean, my son works at a grocery store. They have active shooter training. They have to do once a year as well. Yeah. We do it twice a year, every year, and it's mandatory. You have to take it.
We have nothing like
do it
that.
in my current job.
And we should.
I think we just ignore it until it actually happens here.
And it could happen. It could happen easily at our place. We have security, but there's no metal detectors. They're not like searching bags. So it could happen.
No.
And when you talk about a Navy base, you got to get on the Navy base, and then you have to use a badge to get into a building. I mean, it's not like you can just walk in.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean someone that works there and has a badge can't lose it. And
I agree. No, that's exactly what has happened.
We're in the South, and so you always want to hold the door for somebody.
Yeah.
So as you're walking, you scan your badge, you walk in, you feel rude shutting the door behind, but unfortunately now I'm shutting that door. Yeah. That door is shut. Good luck. If you left your badge at home, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a handful of groceries.
Sorry. Can't help you.
No, that's called tailgating, and you can lose your job and your clearance for that.
Same at where we work.
Yep.
Yeah.
They call it piggybacking.
Yeah.
Piggybacking.
We call it tailgating here because we like football.
Because we like tailgate.
Say, see y'all the fuck later.
Yeah, see you later, fuckers.
Yeah, my drink's been empty for 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
Oh,
this
Lord.
is bullshit.
Where's that beer winch when you need her?
Well, everybody, thank you for listening to this kind of different episode where we were talking about murder and had Karen and Ann from Sugarcoated Murder. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and your podcast?
Well, we have email, and we love email because we don't have any friends. So when we get an email, even if it's just a promo, we think, oh, another friend. So you can find us at murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com.
Oh, that was adorable.
Aww.
And we're on the twit. If you wanted to twit with us, you could just go at Sugar what is it called?
At
Sugar Murder.
Sugar Murder.
And then on the Instagram, it's at Sugar Coated Murder. And on the Facebook, it's
Sugar Coated Murder Podcast fan page.
Yeah, and you can ask to be a part of that. And we don't turn anybody away because we collect friends.
We do.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's how you can find us. And just you can listen to us anywhere. I mean, just any old place.
Any platform.
Anywhere that you usually listen to your podcast. You can ask that A girl.
Yeah. Play that Sugar Coated Murder podcast. Make sure you say podcast, otherwise some weird song comes
I know.
up.
You're like, what are they doing?
We ain't singers.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us and listening to our workplace murder stories. If you're at work and you're considering murder, maybe don't.
Do not.
That's good. Don't.
Get therapized, because then
Just yourself.
otherwise
I
Karen
mean-
and Ann are going to talk about you.
It's not going to be good.
And we use
we
bad
don't.
names,
Terrible.
bad words, whatever.
Terrible.
I'm done. I am toasted. We're done.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for
Thanks,
joining
y'all.
us.
This has been so much fun. We love being with y'all in any capacity that y'all will allow it.
We love having you on. It's always
It's
fun.
always a good time.
Well, thank y'all. We appreciate being
Well, thank
y'all's
you,
guests.
fuckers.
Thanks, y'all,
thanks,
fuckers.
Bye,
That's
fuckers.
right. Bye, fuckers.
Thank you for listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. You can support the show by telling your friends or joining our Patreon. We also have some sweet Fuck My Work Life merch available over at Teespring. All links can be found in the show notes. Send your workplace stories to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 310-818-3273. Be sure to follow us on all the socials at FMWLpod. And remember to support indie podcasts. They work hard to bring you a variety of amazing content. Until next week, bye,
Bye,
fuckers. I don't know about you, but with a busy work schedule, I never have time to sit down and read. Luckily, there's Newsly. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up articles about the most trending topics on the web and reads them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time ever, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. You can browse articles from topics you choose and just start playing. Follow specific topics from sports, tech, business, science, or Bitcoin. Newsly will find you the latest articles and read them aloud. They even have digital radio. And do you want to know the best part? They have podcasts. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. And you can find our podcast, Fuck My Work Life, there too. Download and try Newsly for free by visiting www.newsly.me or clicking on the link in our show notes. And be sure to use promo code FWL for a 1-month free premium subscription. Stop scrolling and start listening with Newsly.